Hello, welcome to Upside Bros, and this week, yes, Christmas is coming up, the holidays are kicking in, and with all the spirit of giving back and giving gifts to everyone, we're completely redoing the whole thing. We're not doing any giveaways, we're focusing on giving back to the community. What do I mean by that? Basically, I want to take this specific block of a video that I'm posting to talk about other creators online and whom you should follow online in the beer world in 2020. So of course, doing all this was inspired by mostly all the stories we have with a lot of our friends here on YouTube, but also Twitter, Instagram, all awesome beer friends. But it's also something that me and Max do believe a lot in it. Why? Because when we started the channel already 4 years ago, I think, yeah, something like that. So 2016, yeah. 4 years ago, we were in some sort new to the beer scene, new to YouTube in general, and we didn't really get clean shots or shout outs or whatever. We did all that by ourselves. So we want to take this platform, take this opportunity today to share along some of our good friends, but also some YouTube channel that I found this year that I think deserves to be watch or at least subscribe. So it's kind of gonna be some sort of list thing, but also focusing on what good those people are bringing to the beer community. So up first, I wouldn't be here without those guys, and I know it might sound cheeky and all that, but they're probably over the last 2 years been some of my best friends, even though I'm seeing them maybe less than twice a year, except for Nathan. But Noah from BeerISM, Craig from BOS Podcast, and Nathan from Nathan Does Beer. Starting with Noah. Noah from BeerISM has been a watcher of the channel for quite a while, and we're so glad to have him as a friend, but also as some sort of a mentor, because he's been on the scene for a while. He's been writing fantastic article on his blog BeerISM. He's also very well connected with some of the hypest breweries in Quebec, but also he's reviewing beers from pretty much everywhere in Canada. And when he gets his hand on some American beers, sometimes he does share along those great beers. But you should really go ahead, check out BeerISM, read his articles. I think he's doing some amazing stuff. His photography skills has some unique taste to it. You can basically recognize Noah's style through pretty much any platform. So if anyone tries to shoot a beer on a black background, yeah, you're screwed. Second up on my list is Nathan. Nathan from Nathan Does Beer. That's way too much Nathan in one phrase. But Nathan blew up so much since the first videos we did with him. He's a lot more confident in front of the camera. I'm very proud about that. It really improved, and I love that. Another thing that really improved is his photography skills, and now he's a lot more confident, and he's putting out articles through BOS Podcast as a kind of like partnership together. So he has a platform where he can post his articles, and if you've been following what he's been writing so far, I think it's worth having a look. Nate goes very in-depth with a lot of his reviews, but also going through a lot of pumpkin spice beers in October was kind of like a shock to me, because I didn't know it was that much out there on the market. But I think it's very cool to dive deep into this, and he's a very avid fan of lactose in beers. So yes, he's part of Team Lactose, but yeah, are we still doing this? Speaking of Team Lactose, we can't talk about it without the Prince of Lactose, Craig from BOS Podcast. You guys probably already know about them. They've been quite... Oh god, there's a spider on the wall. I'm fucking scared. Very far from what Craig does see in Australia, but yes, BOS Podcast, huge beer travelers. They're always everywhere. I think they were in San Francisco last week, and they're always ramping up new ideas, new interviews with breweries, and I do enjoy that. And one thing that you guys should keep an eye on, and one reason you should also follow them, is that they're going to be improving BOS over 2020. So they're changing a little bit the formula, and we'll see a lot more cool content from them. So keep an eye on them, because I've always been impressed with the hustle they have behind their own content, but also it's always inspiring to have those guys around and giving away tips, and always been very kind with us and always helping us grow through the different channels that we're using. And if you're a little bit of a social media nerd, then following Craig and Tiffany is a good idea too, because they have their own social media managing brand that's just booming everywhere. I love what you guys are doing, so thanks.
I totally agree. BOS, Noah, Nate, awesome folks to follow. They always have some very interesting content, and when it comes to Canadian beers, or at least craft beers from a Canadian perspective, they're awesome references. I mean, the BOS podcast is always very interesting, and it's nice to see the different breweries they were able to interview and get kind of another dimension to this whole craft beer industry, especially with the last couple of years, the boom that's happened. More and more people are interested in not only the product that's in front of you, but how was this made? Why was this made? Who made this? And I think seeing that perspective is very important in this growing industry. But another one of I'd say my favorite bloggers of 2019, anyways, going to 2020, Beer with the Numbers. I think his YouTube channel is phenomenal when it comes to information about beer. I mean, we've been doing it. Archer again, eh? Yeah. Chris, you're gonna have fun with this one. Archer! Say hi. This is Archer. Say hi, Archer. Hi. Yeah, you like to talk too, eh? Yeah? Okay. So Beer by the Numbers. Excellent reference when it comes to information. Now, we've done this with the Craft Beer 101 in a different kind of way, in a kind of shorter, more interactive way. But his videos are on point. His information is always very clear, easy to understand, and very accurate, which is really nice to see. And again, I mentioned it earlier, in the craft beer industry, people are looking for a lot more information. They want to know what they're consuming, they want to know what they're drinking, and what it means to drink this product, because a lot of product comes with a lot more than just delicious golden beeriness. Sometimes there's a story behind why this beer is important, and he always seems to nail it.
Now comes some of the special mentions. Those people are accounts that always hooks me every single time I'm either on Twitter or on Instagram. So let's start this off with @Don'tDrinkBeer. He's out there on Twitter, on Instagram, sharing plenty of fantastic beer memes, probably one of the best beer memes out there in the scene, and he's crunchy. I love it. It's always just that little bit of a nice hook on every little single memes he's doing, and I think that it has a lot of undertones. I don't know, I just think he's funny, and you guys should follow him. He also hosts a podcast called Malt Culture, so it's a podcast focused on beers in California. He's also doing a lot more stuff about it. It's a lot more about comedians doing funny stuff, so sometimes I do get the jokes, sometimes I don't get them because I'm main speaking French, so there's a couple of slight things that I don't always get, but I do recommend listening to it. I think it's a different take on a beer podcast, and it's definitely worth subscribing to. And on Instagram, I can't go through this platform without talking about Emily from La Petite Bière. She has amazing, gorgeous pictures, great little reviews, and over the last year, she boomed all across the platforms. She had the opportunity to do articles for news outlets out there on the internet. I don't have all the names because, yes, I'm not a big fan of those news outlets, but still, it's fantastic that they are going after other people, online creators that are out there, that they have knowledge, to share their own knowledge on those platforms. She also appeared on some TV ad. You guys, if you're following her, then you might know that she's also an actress. I think that if all that booming together got her some more contracts and all that is just fantastic. So let's keep doing what you're doing. You're crushing it. And the third one on my Instagram list, Corey Ransom. Do I have the right name on it? Yeah, Corey Ransom at that. He's a very, very talented photographer. Every single time I go through his account, I'm always blown away by the pictures he's taking. He's spending so much time going through all the hustle of editing, lighting, setting up the background. It's just worth liking every single time. So if you're a bit of a fan of photography in general, definitely go check out his account. Check out, sometimes he does little stories where he goes through every single step behind the scene of every pictures. I think it's a unique way to go, and also shows a little bit of the recipe that goes through if you'd like to replicate this on your own, which I think is fantastic. So cheers, Corey. And then the cool part of the video, or where I want to all that go through, is my YouTube shout out part. So of course, we've grown a lot on YouTube. I don't see ourselves as superstars too, but I think that giving this window to other smaller creators is worth doing. Starting off with Ops and Friends. So Ops and Friends is hosted by Sean. He's a Swedish craft beer reviewer, and you can definitely see it from his accent when he's speaking English, and I do admire it because he's pushing it just a little bit further down the road, talking English at the same time and discovering Swedish beers to an audience that's maybe outside of Sweden, which reminds me of myself when I started YouTube. I wasn't very far into my English, and my accent is still quite present. I speak mostly French all day and then do videos in English, which is weird, but I still got it. So go check out. I think Ops and Friends is an upcoming channel, great little edits, and also sweet reviews. Keep it up. Number 2 on my list for YouTubers or upcoming YouTubers, Maplerusski. We already chatted a little bit and on Instagram mostly because he had some inquiries about the Brewmaster program, which is Mac's school where he just graduated. So he's in right now. He's studying in that program, and he's also reviewing kind of like 5 to 6 beers a week on his channel. It's humongous. It's huge. I don't think that humongous is the right word. Whoops. It's a big channel. There's a lot of reviews out there, and you can easily see the improvement through all the different videos. And I love his drive that he has in front of the camera, and I think that's something that always shines through, and it's worth subscribing to those people because they have the passion. And then number 3. It's kind of like a new follow for me because I just discovered her through comments on one of our videos, but Keepsipping. She's fantastic. She has very quirky little edits. You can easily see that she's starting in front of the camera, and I think supporting people that are doing that extra effort to go through with their passions, but also show beer through their own eyes, how they perceive it without being judged for the terms that they're using and all that, is why we're doing this. Creating this content, or creating content that matters to you, I think that it really showcases. So thanks a lot. It's quite a nice little discovery. And to sum all this up together, brands to follow. So of course, I couldn't be here or couldn't be more proud to support Dominion City Brewing Company. Brewery here in Ottawa, but has such a fantastic social media presence that it's worth stating every single time. If you're not following Dominion City Brewing, go check him out right now. And also, Rooted in Place, their new event that they're just announced a couple of weeks ago. Me and Nate will be there. If you'd like to be there, check out the tickets because it's running very fast, and there's fantastic breweries attending this event. And if you're scared of being cold, there's inside and there's warmer stuff outside too, so check it out. So in the spirit of giving back, what are your favorite beer online creators out there? Let me know in the comments. thanks a lot for all the attention you guys have been giving over the last years or year. I wish you all a nice little Christmas or holidays or whatever you're celebrating.
Now, before we stop this video, I want to do a special mention to someone who's not necessarily a beer blogger, but has always been very close to the channel and has always helped us out with a lot of different projects, and that's David BOS. He's an illustrator. He's been working with a lot of different beer bloggers, a lot of different people online, and his artwork is top notch. It's really awesome. Love everything that he's been doing and putting out there. And even though he's not quote unquote a beer blogger, I think it's important to mention him because he's still a part of this industry. He's still a part of what we're doing as beer vloggers and bloggers and beer people. So shout out to David BOS. Thanks for being awesome. Now, if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you guys in the next one.